We are live, buddy.
We're live.
How you doing?
Good. I was just about to burp.
Oh, hey, it wouldn't be the first time
No,
it's happened live.
it would not.
It was you sent me a text saying, "Hey, man, I was listening to the show the other
Yeah,
night, and I heard you belching." What brought that out, though? It's not like it's never happened before.
it was just funny because it was so loud. I was like, "What the hell?"
Uh, I
Fuck,
mean,
that was funny.
sometimes we got to watch it because, like, when we're interviewing somebody important, it's just
Yeah,
like, we get too complacent, too, like,
yeah. Because typically we have
comfortable,
people we know on, so it doesn't matter, right?
too comfortable,
Yeah.
and that sort of slips out. Oops! Sorry.
Sorry, I had burritos.
Yeah.
Be thankful
Well,
it's coming out of this hole, not the other one.
Kevin, it was the wrath. It was the
Hey,
wrath.
speaking of the Wraith,
Wraith. So you're drinking?
yeah,
You're drinking the Wraith?
yep,
Oh, not me.
it is the
What do, what do
Wraith.
I, what do I have? I have
Cash now.
hmm.
Sounds
Um,
like jeweler, Oliver the jeweler there.
yeah. Uh, so we're gonna I basically visited the Woodlot today
Yeah.
and just put a little something together this afternoon. Unfortunately, the 4K isn't compatible with this. I don't know why, but whatever. I guess
Probably because we're not paying for the service.
probably. But anyways, it's rendering, and we will play it shortly when it's finished rendering. Yeah. So can I that now? So those of you who know us have known that we have been working on a documentary called the Dark Woodlot, and well, it looks like things are starting to get a little better, so we could sort of get back out there and just sort of get some finishing touches, and before it gets too insane with ticks and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yep,
I mean, the ticks are the worst,
they are.
and
Get all under your skin and shit.
yeah. Well, it's you go out there, you're fully clothed, and no matter what, they seem to be able to get in under your clothes.
Yep.
Like I had one last year. I was wearing pants, everything else, and blah blah blah. And next thing I know, I get home and I feel something crawling on my leg.
Mm-hmm.
I lift my pant leg, and sure as shit, there was a tick. I'm like, it was a good thing. A good thing it didn't bite me, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
It was just crawling. It was looking for a warm spot to just dig in.
I could say something bad, but I'll leave it alone.
Go for it and
I was gonna
feast.
say it's reaching for your crotch.
And feast.
Yep.
Well, it looks for warmer spots on the body. No, it does.
No, I know. I'm just saying it can't get much warmer than that.
No, but you like to hope they don't make it.
No, I know exactly.
You're in trouble if they make it there. Um, yeah. So we're hopefully going to get out and do a few days shooting or whatever before it gets bad because it's going to be early this year. It's going to be really early this year. I got a feeling we're
When does tick
probably
season usually start?
early. The warmer it gets, the quicker. I'm going to say mid to late April. you'll probably start to see them out. Maybe even sooner, but I would say mid to late April. Before it was May. Now it's hey Daniel, how are you? You had a tick bite, eh? But you didn't end up having Lyme disease. My niece had a tick bite and she developed Lyme disease. Unfortunately, she seems to be okay now, and they seem to have got it in its early sort of stages, but still doing good. Daniel, how about you? Thanks for joining us. Let's see if the video is ready to go. I think it is. All right. Well, hopefully this one will work. Okay, we're going to play a little excerpt from my misadventure into the Woodlot.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we'll open up the panel for you guys after this. So hold tight. Hopefully this works. Hold on. Okay, let's see. I'm not going to hold my breath here. You know that, right?
I cross my fingers.
Here we go. For some odd reason. Okay.
Did you add that music?
The music, that's the music, but for some reason
It's not playing the video.
the video's not playing.
It's musical interlude.
Oh man, I just don't know. Let me see. Maybe it's just not finished rendering. I don't know. That's weird. Hold on. Let me see if it'll play for me on this. My God. Hold on. No picture. For some odd reason, there's no picture. That's stupid. Let me look at the file. It saved it. I don't get it. That's weird. I don't know. That's weird. Okay. Looks like we're gonna have to try this again, which is a pain in the butt. Hold on. I do not know. Okay, sorry about this, guys.
In the meantime.
Cheers. Hold on a sec here. Cheers.
What's Kevin drinking? Kevin, what are you drinking?
What is Kevin drinking?
I don't know. Maybe he's drinking Wraith as well.
Or the Wraith. The Wraith. Okay, hold on a sec here. I don't understand. That's weird.
It's a sign, man. It's a sign.
It's a sign that something is wrong. Hold on. No, I'm not going to do that. I'll try this. Hold on.
Ginger tea. Come on, Kevin.
He's drinking ginger tea.
Yeah. You disappoint me.
Okay, it's not working. I don't know what the problem is. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's try it this way. Hold on. You gotta love it.
It's always fun when shit goes wrong.
Yeah, that's my fault. I should have had this all sort of ready to go, so to speak. Hold on. Okay.
Well,
And this kind of sucks. Hold on, full screen. There we go. And let me just.
how big is the file?
It's big. It's 1.8. It's 1.8 gigs, I think.
1.8 gig.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Hold on a sec here. I'm gonna try it this way. Let's see. We'll figure it out, man. I'm telling you. Just.
Eventually, we'll figure it out.
Oh.
In the meantime, here's some sound effects.
Okay, here we go.
Oh,
Can you
got
see that? Hear that?
I can see it. I don't hear anything.
You don't hear nothing?
Nope.
Ah, fuck this.
It's okay. Just play the video.
No. You can't. You can't. You gotta hear it. That's the main thing. Oh, okay. Let me just try it again.
I can provide the music.
Well, because I'm talking in it, right?
Yeah.
I talk in it. Hold on. Let me just see one more thing here. Hold on. I'll get it. I know I will get it.
Let's take bets, folks. Let's make this interesting.
Make it interesting, right?
No casual.
Hey,
We're
casual.
taking bets. We're taking bets on seeing if Steve can fix the video.
Yeah. Oh man, driving me nuts. Okay, let me try
Thumbs
this.
up if you think he can do it. Thumbs down if you don't think he can do it.
Relink. No, I don't want that one. Get rid of that. Get that. Well, let me just insert it. I want to see. Oh, no wonder it's showing up blank, which is really weird.
Showing up blank where?
In editing, and I don't know why it's showing up blank. Oh boy. Okay. Oh, let me just get rid of this. No. Bye. Okay. I can do it this way, and I'm going to do it this way. Okay. So I'm going to put it in. I'm going to convert it. Open source. And I'm going to open a file.
It's a video conversion party.
Mm-hmm.
You're all invited.
Well, I just want to make sure it's format. All right, there we go. Okay, so it's going. Hopefully this will work. It looks like it's working. So sorry guys about that. Yeah. And this is going to slow down now, I think, because of it.
Yeah, the stream's going to get affected.
The stream's going to get affected because it's encoding it.
Yeah. Although you have a relatively new PC, you should be okay.
Yeah, fuck, it's a piece of shit. I'm complaining about it already. I really am. Oh well. Okay. So, anyways, I went out to the Woodlot to take a look, and I filmed the adventure and sort of went into talking about what we had, not everything, just little bits and pieces on what we had experienced there over the time of shooting, and sort of on location to give people a gist of what things look like. Kind of, not everything. I didn't go all over the place in there. I only went to the reservoir. And what I wanted to do, like I was sort of, there's a part in the video there where I'm like centering in where we think the house was.
Hmm.
You remember when Gord went in there?
Oh yeah, and he almost got lost in the swamp.
He almost got lost, and you remember what he said?
No, I don't remember what he said.
He said something. Anyways, I was going to put that audio in there as I'm panning in, sort of like an echo from the past.
Oh, yeah, is this
But I
is this
couldn't.
what he said? I don't know if it's this.
No, it's not
Okay,
that.
I have a
Oh no, that's
No,
the
it's
wrong
not
foot,
that.
man. Fuck. Hold on.
It's not that.
There we go.
Ow! Shit! Oh, that hurt. That was not paranormal.
Is that what he said?
No, that was
yeah.
from another. That was from a different night. But
I know, I just
yeah,
throw it at
we could have put that in there. Nobody would know.
I know. I don't even think Gord would notice.
Cord wouldn't notice. It's like, hey, he would probably question. Go, was that from the same night?
That's funny.
Yeah. I don't know. Weird. Okay, hold on. Let's see. It's making its way. Coding, it takes a while. Anyways, thanks, guys, for stopping by. And this is supposed to be a watch party. And again, we're having troubles with the
watching
video.
part.
Yeah, the watching part. We'll get it eventually, hopefully very soon. But until then, if anybody wants to join us on panel, they can do so. Let me just put it in there. And you guys can and there you go. Kevin, if you'd like to join us. Anybody, Daniel, if you'd like to join us, by all means. It's completely open.
Casual, you're invited too.
What? I'm hearing like that's my PC overheating. I'm just kidding.
Is your nutsack getting warm?
No, I'm hearing this strange noise, and it's the PC like working overdrive.
I know it's trying to stream and render at the same time.
Stream and render at the same time. Oh, it's doing a pretty good job. Can't complain so far.
It's a trooper.
It's a gaming machine. That's supposed to do the job, right?
Exactly.
So, anyways, yeah, the Woodlot, the condition of it is in pretty good shape. I mean, it's pretty much only muddy in areas that were like before the winter. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's areas that are pooling again, but that's like where the just before the winter, same thing, sort of thing, right?
Yeah, it's that area where Gord literally stepped in the water. No.
Yeah, but over to the end cove, over to the left, is some pooling, and I mean we usually run into some of that beforehand too. It's like it's like a little valley sort of thing, and it collects the water. So over the winter,
but I mean,
it's
we could
done
stay outside of the Woodlot and just try to conduct some experiments in that little alcove there.
Oh, the Woodlot itself's not bad. It's fine. The reservoirs actually hasn't really increased. It's pretty much the same.
Surprised because we got a lot of snow this year.
We did, but for some odd reason, it's pretty much, like it was like how we left it last year, last year. It hasn't really grown. I mean, there's some areas that are washed out a bit, but for the most part, yeah, it hasn't increased in size. So
that's good.
Yeah, it is good. So I'm looking forward to it, getting in there and sort of diving in it and getting some new footage and et cetera, et cetera. Oh my God, this thing is time remaining is not looking good, buddy.
How much time?
It's saying 32 minutes.
Holy fuck.
It's saying 32 minutes, but hopefully as time goes, it won't be as long. As it encodes more, it'll be quicker. I don't know. It's really weird that it wasn't showing up on my editor. My editing program is usually really good, but for some reason, it was showing up blank. Just the audio track.
That's weird.
Very weird.
Yeah. Which software are you using?
Video Studio.
Right.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Like I said, it's not as good as Premiere, but it's not as much as Premiere either. Premiere is fucking expensive.
Mm.
And Premiere is great and everything, but I don't get a free version anymore. I used to, when I was working with Steven and that, I used to get a free version.
Is Premiere from is that the Adobe one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the best editing programs still. Video Studio is actually really good. I actually like it.
Good.
It's come a long way.
Yeah. I downloaded the free one, the DaVinci Resolve.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, I'm not an expert in video editing whatsoever, but just to fool around, and it was free anyway, right?
Yeah, it's not a bad program, and like I said, it does the job, and it's like I said, it's really improved, especially in animated titling and transitions and stuff like that. It's really come a long way. Before it was pretty basic, but they've really poured it on, and it's certainly worth the money. It's a fraction of the cost for a Premiere. I think Premiere is like 3 something, 4 something.
Wow.
For the basic version. Professional, like the professional is like $600 or $700.
That's insane.
I know, man. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely. Hey, Adrian, how are you? It's absolutely ridiculous. But hey, people.
Adrian, how's it going?
It's people use it. We'll download it, and you know what? It's a great program. I love it, but it's just too expensive. Way too expensive. Okay, let's see here. It's coming down to about 20 minutes. So yeah. So anyways, venturing out there, yeah. What has been your favorite moment so far with the Woodlot?
Good question. I guess I would have to say the atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's a unique atmosphere. And it seems like, and Gord said the same thing. It seems like every time we go out there, it feels different.
Mm-hmm.
And that in itself is kind of interesting because, I mean, we go to the same place. It should feel the same every time.
Yeah.
Right? Or at least more or less the same every time. Okay. It depends on whether it's a gloomy day or not. That could add to it, of course. But more or less, it should feel the same every time we go. And it doesn't. One time it felt very serene, calming. And the next time we went there, it felt kind of eerie. So it was one of those
very
weird
eerie,
things, right?
Very eerie.
Yeah, and then of course when we were hearing those noises, those banging noises, that was kind of intriguing.
And I mentioned that in this video, in the little excerpt that we're going to show here eventually when it's ready to go. Once again, I apologize for that, guys. Yeah, I mentioned that. I mentioned we were here. There's a lot of stuff that we were hearing real, like with the naked ear, real time.
Yep.
That is completely unexplainable. Hey, Dan, how are you? Good to see you, buddy. It's completely unexplainable.
Mhm.
It just doesn't make any sense at all. None.
No, it doesn't.
None. What do you think's going on, Alex?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Yeah, but what you've experienced so far, what are your thoughts on what is going on?
Yeah,
Just a theory. Obviously just a theory.
yeah, no, I know, and I'm trying to put it into words, but it's kind of hard to explain. It almost seems like there's definitely some kind of force that's trapped in that area, or not trapped, but lingers in that area, for lack of a better term. And that could be the part of the explanation as to why it feels different every time we go out there. Like the first time I went out there with you guys, and I think Gord was there as well that night, and we both felt like it was a calm, serene sort of place, and the sun was still out. But even when after it got dark, I didn't feel any foreboding or anything of that. And it was cool. To my Hi, Terry.
Leave it to Terry, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Neo, how are you? Hey, Frank, good to see you, buddy. Once again, if anybody would like to join us, by all means, just follow the link in chat.
And we swear it doesn't go to a porn site.
Yeah. Oh man, that was hilarious. Too much alcohol. We have to kind of think maybe we're promoting alcohol too much.
It's no such thing.
I know. Okay. So hold on a sec here.
What's the status now?
20 minutes.
Ugh.
20
PC
minutes.
a kick, man. Maybe we might speed it up.
Well, it could be this live stream that's slowing it down too, right?
Yeah, more than likely that's the case.
Most likely that's what's happening. Hopefully it's done a lot sooner than that. Once again, I apologize. We were supposed to play some Back to the Woodlot. For some odd reason, this did not like, I guess, the file. Hey, Crazy John, how are you? John?
I'm telling you, it's because the Woodlot does not want us to reveal its secret. That's what I'm going with.
It's all about the Woodlot. I'm telling you right now, that fucking place is cursed.
I'm going with that. I'm sticking with that.
Let's face it, it is cursed. It is fucking cursed.
I'm just glad we didn't bring anything home with us.
Yet, or that you know of.
Well, that I know of.
That you know of. You haven't experienced any strange little things happening?
No, aside from maybe extra gas, but that could be the beer.
That's normal. That is normal, right?
Why? The gas?
The gas, yeah.
Depends on what I eat.
But it's what was I going to say? Have you watched any of those? What do you think so far? Have you watched it from the beginning?
Yeah. So I started from, because there are some videos that have nothing to do with the haunting.
Yeah.
So I've watched the ones that have the English description of
English subs,
whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And I started from the very beginning when he was describing how he rented the place for cheap, and he did the walkthrough and all of that stuff. And the one video where he placed a GoPro in the washroom. Did you watch that one? And then the hairbrushes come flying out.
Yeah.
So I watched that, and I started watching a bit of the other, and then it got kind of late, and I was getting tired, so I stopped watching it. But yeah, they're really interesting videos.
Hey, Lewis, how are you? Yeah, it's a lot of people sit there and go, well, it's just the next sort of level of Japanese sort of promotion with their horror flicks. And the Japanese are very good at doing this shit.
Yeah.
You know, and are they utilizing YouTube? I don't know. I'd like to believe this is real.
Hmm.
And if it is real, oh my God, this is pretty fucking freaky shit, man.
Yeah, I know it is. I mean, obviously, with any of this stuff, you have to take it with a grain of salt, regardless, right?
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, it's like you said, this could just be a stunt. But I mean, it's he's done this over the course of a couple of years now. I think he started in 2020, didn't he?
Last year, I think.
Was
About
it
a year
last year?
ago. Yeah, it looked like about a year ago.
Right. So I mean, that's one heck of a long promotion, stunt.
But what what he's doing is he goes and he does the research and the back research of the area where he's living.
Hmm. Yeah.
You know, the burial mounds, the temples.
Yeah, I haven't gone to that part yet, but yeah.
It's really, really neat, man. You know, the names, the names, how he was talking about how his family is like somewhat, you know, sort of linked to the area or whatever.
Mhm.
Warring clans. And Japan, like years ago, I mean, that was a normal thing, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, this is really fucking cool.
I'm gonna post the link to his channel in the chat if anybody's interested.
Yeah, you know, and start off from the beginning. Like in the beginning, there was no English subs. But you know, he starts as I think, what is it, maybe a 6th or 7th video entry.
Well, like I said, some of those videos don't have anything to do with the actual haunting that he's experiencing. Those are the ones that typically don't have the subtitles.
Yeah. But the English subtitles mostly deal with you know, the English subs, whatever. The actual the activity that he's experiencing in the house.
Hmm.
And as he points out, the person who lived there before passed away.
In the washroom.
Yeah, so he kind of thinks this is the person who is you know, sort of haunting, you know, and causing all the activity, but he's doing a further background check on the area to see if there's any other links possibly, which is neat.
Hmm.
And what he comes up with is equally as cool.
Yeah, don't spoil it. I haven't gone to that yet.
No, I'm not. That's as far as it goes. But I you know what? It's addictive to me. It's addictive watching this.
Yeah, I'm only gonna get the chance to really watch it either in the evenings or on the weekends. But
That's all I get to too.
yeah, so obviously tonight's not going to be a chance for me to watch it. Maybe tomorrow night I'll watch a bit. But,
I usually throw in an episode or two before I pass out.
Yeah, well, I would do, like I said, I watched some last night until I got to the point where I just had to crash because I had to wake up early for work this morning. But I'll probably watch some tomorrow because I don't know if I'll see how I feel when we end this stream.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll catch an episode or something.
I know I'll probably watch one or two, guaranteed. I'm usually pretty good like that. Okay, so we're down to 17 minutes. Oh wait, no, 15 minutes.
Woo, we're getting there.
15 minutes.
We're getting there.
We will eventually show back to the Woodlot. Hopefully very soon here. Once again, sorry for that. And thank you to everyone who's joined us so far. I know there's a lot of streams going on there live on YouTube, but thanks for joining
on the YouTube.
But thank you for joining our little world here. And once again, if you'd like to join us on the panel, it's completely open. We absolutely would love to hear from you guys and chat with you guys and all that wonderful stuff, of course. But yeah, do check out what is it? Yama Q.
Yeah, Yama Q.
Yama Q. And just through the chat. I mean the panel. I'll get it there in chat. Yama Q. There's actually another one I stumbled upon. Right? It's I'd have to look it up again. And they do the same sort of scenario, but it's got something to do with weird occurrences happening in and around Japan. You know? So that's
Yeah.
kind of weird. Really, really weird. You know what I'm saying? Just
Mhm.
weird shit. Very weird.
It's too bad I don't speak Japanese.
You know, it's funny because you know, after watching all these Japanese flicks over the years, you kind of get adjust for the words for the language, although obviously not perfect. But you know, certain words and phrases and stuff like that that are said, you kind of pick up on. You're like, oh yeah, that's what that means, and then you forget.
Yeah, of course. I
Okay,
was
hold
like
on.
watching, I was like reading some of the writing in Japanese. I was like, holy crap, man. Can't make heads or tails of it, even if I tried.
There is, John. It's called Battleship Island.
Is it Battleship Island?
Battleship Island. It's owned by Mitsubishi, I believe. And it was a factory and had living quarters for all the employees. In fact, what's his name? We had that urban explorer on from what was his
Yeah.
name again? He actually was able to get on the island. He actually got a fisherman
So Battleship Island is a nickname.
nickname. Yeah,
Yeah, it's actually Hashima Island.
Hashima Island. That's it.
Yeah.
And he actually got him and a friend actually got a fisherman to troll them over there and drop them off because obviously it's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
It's illegal. It's not like people do illegal things in this day and age, though, right?
No. No one
Um,
does.
no. I'm gonna get a refreshment here in a sec, and I'm gonna play something for you guys, Alex. And I know if you need to refresh. Yeah, workers lived on there, and there was actually condos. Man, the place was fucking insane. Not the same island. Okay, let us know, Dan. The other island. We're just gonna take a short break here in a sec because we got to refresh here, and I want to make sure. Hold on a sec. I want to make sure that we're good to go with back to the Woodlot and okay, where are we? Oh, yeah, I'll play this. Okay, I'm gonna play this. We'll be right back in just a few minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere. And again, open panel. Hold tight. We'll be right back. Just got to refresh things up, wash and break, and all that kind of stuff.
now inside the compound of Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
It's kind of enclosed up here, right?
Well, it's proper property. How much time we got left?
Pause it?
No. The battery's half. That'll do. That's fine. Got lots of time left. Here we go. It's gonna be on this side, I think. As soon as you get up, you'll see it. Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Look at this. Here we go.
My fucking heart's going already.
Holy shit.
All right, we're back. I didn't want to turn that off though, but sorry guys, we're back, and it looks like the rendering. We're down to 5 minutes. Woohoo! You there, Alex?
I am.
Oh, okay. Like,
I forgot to take the mute off.
I wasn't sure if you could hear me or not. Okay. All right. We're all refreshed. Okay. Once again. Okay, let me just put it out there. And there we go. Join us if you'd like. Okay, so where were we?
I'm talking about.
Hey, Simon, how are you? We've got trouble. I think we've got a lot of trouble here.
Why?
Yeah, there he is. How you doing, buddy?
What's happening?
Long time no chat. How are you?
Not so bad, you?
Not too bad. Can't complain.
Yeah.
Can't complain. What's new in your neck of the woods?
Spring's coming.
Yeah, spring. Tell me about it. It was fucking beautiful today.
Yeah. Do your clocks have gone forward already, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
Yeah. What was it?
It's
March
the
what?
day after my birthday.
Really?
Wow.
We
And you
are,
remember?
ours isn't till the end of the month, like, but yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now there's a 4-hour difference.
Yeah, 4 hour. Yeah, 4 hour difference. Yeah.
I could never
Yeah,
understand that, man. Especially, because I remember we were gonna have Ben on, and we've got another contestant.
Oh, another contestant.
Frank, how are
Frank.
you? Welcome to Hollywood Squares.
Yeah.
Man, you left. And you left
from
them
one
there.
channel and I've joined another.
We absolutely love it that you join ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was
So
weird.
we're
'Cause
on
I-
about daylight saving times, like when we just like,
yeah, and it's weird because we were having Ben on one time, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's like a 4-hour difference," and I'm like, "No, wait a sec, I thought you guys were like 5 hours. What the hell, man? Oh no, our clocks haven't gone back yet, or forward, or whatever." And I'm like,
forward. Yeah.
it was weird. It's like, oh man, that's weird. Okay.
Well,
It's
we're
the last-
supposed to be stopping that idea. Somebody said a few years back
Yeah.
they were going to put the clocks forward 1 hour, and that was it.
Yeah,
They were
same
talking-
here.
Never do it again.
Yeah, they're talking
You
about that here.
Never,
I mean, it's
never put the clocks back.
It passed
pain.
over here, but
Did it?
it passed over here with with a caveat, and the caveat is that Ontario, which is the province where Steve and I both live in, will only do that if the province of Quebec and the state of New York do the
state of
same.
New York. Yeah.
So if everybody
Which
else
makes
follows
absolutely
that,
no
yeah.
fucking sense.
It's a fucking joke. And I thought New York was talking about getting rid of that too.
Yeah, and so is Quebec. But until they do it,
well, the UK's thinking of doing it as well. We're still debating. Like, but it seems we're Greenwich Mean Time. Like, at the end of the day, you know, might as well just stick with going forward. Like, you know, just
I think they keep it like that for the stock markets and the time that the banks.
I think that people are just getting. They want earlier. They want lighter mornings and darker nights. Because if you look at it, when the clocks first go back, with us, like after summertime, we have those dark mornings, don't we? Real dark morning, about 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. It's like pitch fucking black, you know. So you want it like light about 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, you know, because kids are still going to school and it's still like just getting daylight, like 7 o'clock in the morning, like. You know?
Yeah.
Well, they were having problems with like hit and runs too.
Yeah. All
Like
sorts of
people being
things.
hit and accidents and shit like that as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, which one is better? I mean, that's the question. I mean, which one should we stick to?
I like it. I like the late nights when it gets dark late.
yeah,
I do like that. I mean, when it's like getting dark about 10 p.m. or
Yeah.
sometimes 10:30, you know, if just before it goes, like, you know, the 21st of June, like, you usually get a real peak of like 10:30 at night. It's still like, you know, those are great nights, man, because you can really enjoy yourself in those, and especially when the weather's warm as well. Like,
Yeah, sit out having a beer outside. And
exactly, like sitting out having a beer and it's nice and warm.
The temperature's coming just down and it's really nice.
Just as it gets dusk,
Yeah,
the temperature starts to lower, but it's still reasonably warm. You're out in t-shirts and stuff
yeah,
like
it's
that.
lovely.
Still fucking knocking them back, like, and you're like, you know.
We won't be stuck here on YouTube if that was the case, right?
I think we would, like, I think we'd be doing some. Yeah, I think we would. I think people would still come in.
We'll do live on location, having a few beers out in the.
There you
out in
go.
the yard.
yeah.
Probably be a bit slightly inebriated, like.
Well, hey, it's not like that's never happened here before.
That's the same every time.
Nothing wrong with that, like.
No, it's never happened before.
I was going to ask you if you're going to try the Ouija board again.
Oh, the Ouija board.
I've been trying to convince them to try it again, but here's the thing, though. When we tried it at the Woodlot, it was very cold that night,
Yeah,
and we didn't really have a place to sit comfortably. We were practically, like, Gordon and I were practically on our knees, and it's rough terrain, so it wasn't very conducive to a good session.
you really need a tent or something, a bit of cover.
Yeah. So I was suggesting that.
Candlelight, so it looks really spooky as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've played the Ouija board many times in my life, right? There was a buddy of mine that used to live in an apartment that was literally next to a cemetery. So we used to play almost on a nightly basis in his apartment. And it got to a point where it was like, it worked really well with him and I. Whenever I'd play with someone else or he played with someone else, it wasn't working as well. So we just kept playing and we kept getting all this information. And at the time the internet wasn't as vast as it is now or easily accessible as it is now. So there's really no easy way to validate any of the information that we got. And plus we were like kids. We were like 17, 18 years old, right? We were just fooling around mostly. But it was intriguing. But the one night I had this brilliant idea. It was myself, the guy who lived in that apartment, and another friend, And I go, well, why don't we just take this a step further and just go inside the cemetery and play on top of a grave? So we did it. We went into the cemetery. We placed the board on top of a flat gravestone, and the guy that I normally played with, he didn't want to take part in it, so he kept an eye out for the guard. And I played with the other guy, and he was a bit of a skeptic. So I'm like, okay, let's play it. And we waited until the planchette started moving. And when it moves, and I play with someone who's a skeptic, I generally take my hands off at any given time just to prove I'm not pushing it. So I'm moving around. I take my hands off. He takes his hands off, and the thing still moves slightly. So we're both freaked out at this point. Put our hands back on. And I tried to say goodbye, and it kept going to no. So eventually we got it to say goodbye, and we just picked up the board and left. Right. But yeah, it was interesting. Some interesting incidents with the Ouija board.
You know what? You know, I've heard of so many scary stories in Ouija boards.
Me and Noel at school.
Yeah. I've heard of people being attacked by dogs after they've been playing with it. You know, I remember a guy who did it in his back shed, like in his back garden, like, and he went out late that night, and a dog chased him home, like a Doberman, like, you know, black Doberman. You know.
Well, luckily nothing like that happened to us, but yeah.
But I mean, I also had another one with my mother years ago. Like, my mother went to a party, and they brought the Ouija board out, and they had this guy in the room, and he was panicking. He was like, "That, stop playing it now! Like, whatever you're doing, I don't like it." And he got really, really, really upset, like, you know, and he was getting really agitated as well, like. And in the end, they had to stop, like, because he couldn't handle it.
In the old farmhouse with the Shadows Project there, Alex, we did the pendulum. You did the Ouija board too? I can't remember.
We did the Ouija board, and we also did.
How did that work out again? I can't remember exactly because I was exploring the house, but
yeah. So what they did, well, at least at one point in the night, what they did was they were playing the Ouija board and doing an EVP session at the same time, and with the hopes of whatever response you got on the Ouija board, you can validate it against the recording.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know what came out of that after that, because I don't think I got the chance to talk to Steven about it. But yeah, that's one thing that they did that night. One of many things we did that night.
Dan says he would just leave if somebody wanted to play that thing around him.
Come on.
The scariest thing I've witnessed is the old village I grew up in was really haunted, and our local church had this blue stone to mark the devil's footprint. There's a legend that the devil back in the 1300s or 1400s, is a really old church, jumped from the bell tower, and where he landed, his footprint, they put a blue stone to mark it. It's known as the Devil's Stone, and it's actually shaped like a foot as well. This stone, an old blue stone, you know, blue stones like Stonehenge type stones.
Where is this at? Which village is this?
It's Newington near Sittingbourne in Kent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Newington Church, so not really old church.
Yeah.
And it's in the graveyard, and I was dead. I was only about 6 years old, 7 years old. I was dead because we used to have to go there every day from school and do like services and things. It was quite a religious school I went to, primary school, and harvest festivals and things like that. And I was there to run around it 3 times.
Isn't it interesting how the harvest festivals continued on, but obviously in a different manner. But I mean, these were like pagan sort of festivals, but yet I mean, you harken back to movies like The Wicker Man. Have you guys seen The Wicker Man?
Yeah.
And Mayfair and all that kind of stuff, and sort of resisting the sort of Christianity and keeping the sort of paganism alive, and I know in the 70s there, and even over here, it really sort of had like a resurgence, if you will, and in many cases even into witchcraft. And people were like, "Oh my God, the occult! We're all gonna die," sort of thing. You know, it's like, oh,
That time I'd run around that Devil's Stone, as we was walking out the pathway of the church down, it's like a long driveway out the church. We walked onto the road. As we was walking up, it's like a big dip, and it comes out up a hill, goes around the corner. As we was walking up there, I was with about 6 others. We all stopped in our tracks as we heard clump, 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 echo footsteps behind us, like hooves.
Yeah, hooves.
And we all stopped, all looking at each other's feet, looking around, looking behind us, couldn't see no one. And it was like they were just like 2 feet behind us, literally that loud and echoing, like horses' hooves, but only 2 hooves. And it frightened the life out of us. And we ran like the wind. We
Do you know, a mate of mine? We have a church down in Cornwall called Baldu Church. It's now being refurbished into houses. I think there's two apartments in the church. But before that, the church was abandoned for about 25 years. And a load of people used to go down there, do devil worshipping and all that shit down there. Like, you know, and it was when you used to go down there, it was eerie. I mean, you go off the main road, go down this like roadway to it, and as soon as you got down there, it was just deadly silent around the church. Not a thing, not even birds or anything in the nests. You know, there was nothing there. Like, there was a graveyard around the church, and I remember a mate of mine went down there once, and he went down there in a VW camper van with his missus, and they parked up on the lane, and then all of a sudden they hear these motorbikes going by. He's thinking, what the fuck is that? So he's opened the door, like, as soon as he opened the door to the camper van, it stopped, and it was deadly silent around there, like, you know.
I've just found this Devil's Stone on Wikipedia. It's actually on Wikipedia for my old church.
This place to this day, right, is now, as I say, 2 apartments, and it's always up for sale. You know, I don't think there's anybody really lived in it that long since it was converted. It's been converted now about 15 years, like it's been converted, and it's always on the market.
We did a show a few years ago. Oh man, I can't remember the name of this castle. And these 2 guys, they built this house, and they were having all sorts of parties and all sorts of shit going on. And a few murders happened in this place. Do you know what I'm referring to, Alex? Do you remember what I'm referring to?
Doesn't ring a bell. Not yet, anyway.
I can't remember the name of the house now. Oh my God, it'll come to me. But
it's a house or a castle?
It was a house, but it was named a castle. It was built almost like a castle.
Okay.
And in the middle of nowhere, and there was a murder. Well, a few people murdered there, and the person who was responsible, obviously, he perished as well. But because a lot of it had to do with where they were, because these guys were apparently they were gay. And the area where they built this house obviously was not a great place to be have that sort of lifestyle. And people were opposed to it. And we're talking, I think I can't remember exactly.
I know what you're talking about now. I can't think of the name.
Yeah. It was one of the most messed up fucking things, man. I'm telling you. Oh man. But the house, I think, is now gone. But it lasted for a long time, abandoned. And of course, the stories of people going into this house afterwards and going on and saying, look, and oh my God, this happened to me. Just the story alone developed a reputation. And we're not even, it's like you look at the Amityville house. And how, you had that story that was developed after the DeFeo murders, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, when you look at the horror of that house, it's the DeFeo murders.
Yeah. I think that's what it's from, or based on, isn't it? It's a defilement. It was like,
Oh, that was crazy. That shit, man.
yeah, man. I've read about that. That's fucking insane.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Have you guys? Is there like a place?
I'll tell you a story. I just found out there's a cinema up country that was converted, and a bloke who owned it in 1930s was a manager there in 1946. Got murdered. He got shot in the head, and he apparently haunts the building to this day. The building's still standing, like it's a supermarket underneath, and the stall, the cinema balcony is now made into 2 screens, and they've built a lot of other things in the front part of it. But he still haunts the building to this day. And another one I know of is a place called the Palace Theatre in Plymouth. There's a woman there called Mary Hoyle, and she was like put in when she died. She loved the theatre so much they put her in the building the day before she was buried, and they had like going around in state, like going around and seeing around the coffin, signing the book of condolence and everything. She was in the building for 24 hours before they buried her, like. And apparently she haunts the building to this day, like, you know, she's still wanders around it. And I've actually smelt her myself there. You know, you get those odd smells. You're walking around, and all of a sudden you'll get a big waft of something like either tobacco or perfume, like. And she was around us, like, and I could smell it, like, you know. And my mate took a picture over the top of the balcony, and as she'd done it, this big white thing went past us, and she caught it on the camera, like, you know. Yeah.
John, have you ever had an experience that you just like, okay, just totally freaked you out?
Yeah, I don't anything that freaked me out. I have told this numerous occasions about the shadow ghost. Like I see, that's about it, really. Like that's the only thing I've ever had. The shadow ghost.
And Frank, you've had a few things, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I just said about that church. I just found out the church was built between 1163 and 1177.
Yeah, man, that's got some serious deaths around that lake, isn't it?
Yeah. By Richard de Lucy, with additions made in the 13th and 14th century, and then it eventually became the property of Henry VIII, who stayed there.
Henry VIII.
Henry VIII, he stayed there, and he's lived there for a while. And then the patron today is the Archbishop of Canterbury. Yeah.
Now, Henry VIII, is he not the? And now are we talking about when marriage came into play?
Yeah, Henry VIII.
He beheaded all his wives.
Henry.
There was no divorce, so he beheaded his wives.
He beheaded every ex-wife, like, yeah.
He had 9 wives, didn't he? He beheaded.
I think he had 9 or 8.
Did none of them catch on? Did they have a choice though? They probably didn't have a choice.
I think one of them he killed. She had a sister as well, didn't she? Who he murdered, even though she said to him, "Please spare my sister's life." And he still had it.
When I was little, I went down to the catacombs underneath the church.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
And there's tunnels going from the church up to the old pub on the high street, and then from the pub to the old manor house. And then from the manor house up to the old abbey on the place called Monkey Island, where it used to be a monastery, monks.
Yes, the Church of England. Simon points out he created the Church of England. I remember that.
Yeah. So it's a pretty haunted place, the old village that I grew up in, and there was I've had loads of experience growing up as a kid in that little village. It's a really haunted village.
But, so what kind of experiences did you have, Frank? Can you remember one?
Yeah, in old abandoned buildings that we used to go into, there was an old abandoned building on Monkey Island near the monastery that it's just ruins now, just pieces of stone sticking out the ground now. The moat's still there, but just pieces. But there was a building next to it, and it was just gutted out. And there was no stairs, so we had to climb up the old door to get upstairs. And there's bits of the floorboards missing, and there's loads of us. We left our bikes in the bottom floor, and we climbed up, and we was kicking a football around up there to each other. And there was one day we was kicking a football around, and we heard like footsteps on the floorboards that we were standing on. Again, footsteps. We keep hearing footsteps. That was a common theme in that old village. And we all stopped and looked at each other. We all went pale, and the footsteps carried on. And we literally jumped out the windows from the second floor down, and we ran. And then after about running for about a mile, we realised we left our bikes in the in the place, and we thought, oh no.
So did you go back for them?
Oh, we actually went all the way home, and we told our mums and dads, and my dad's, and that
Came back with them. Like,
come back with us to get our bikes back.
Oh, that'd be pretty
Really
freaky.
scary.
So you jumped out from the second level?
Yeah, we all did.
So
Yeah,
what was that like 10? What was that like 10, 20 feet? What?
It's about, I suppose it's quite high ceiling. It's about 12, 15 feet.
Jeez.
15 feet. And we was only like little kids at the time, sort of.
Yeah.
Old.
my mother had a story. It was to do with her first husband. Now he disappeared in an airplane, and they never found the plane or his body. And she about 2 days later she moved back home, and they still didn't know whether he was dead or he was missing, and they didn't declare him dead for at least another 3 or 4 days. And she said that one night she was in bed and she got this sudden urge to wake up. And she said there was something in the corner of the room. Couldn't see what it actually was. Nothing really stuck out in the shape. But there was something there. Like she said, once that had happened, she said then she knew he was gone. So she assumed that it was her first husband, Ray. Like he'd come to say, I'm missing. I've gone.
I love hearing stories like that.
Apparently,
I do.
Henry VIII gave the church to Eton College in 1531.
So
I'm reading stuff I didn't know about on Wiki about it.
So Punchy said Henry VIII drank something like 70 pints of beer a week.
That's probably about right, mate. Yeah, probably about right.
Mead. They drank mead in those days.
They drunk mead in those days, yeah.
Yeah. Paul Simon was saying, as far as Punches first said, is it true that Henry VIII only ate meat? And Simon said, meat, mead, and wine.
That's right, meat, and wine. Yeah.
That book that Steve was mentioning is called Corpsewood, a true crime like no other. That's what I was trying to look for a few minutes ago. I was trying to share my screen, but it's not working. Anyway.
Apparently, there was an archaeology. I didn't know this because it's after I moved out, because I left the village in 2018. In 2019, there was an archaeological dig in my old village, and Iron Age remains dating from 30 BC. They found a Roman town in my old village.
Wow.
Underneath the ground, and it covers 18 acres. And it was carried out by SWAT SWAT Archaeology Group.
Right.
They found iron furnaces, pottery kilns, manufacturing sites, a Roman temple, a 7-meter wide Roman road, and thousands of pottery pots.
Items.
Yeah. The newly discovered road, and I found a new road, well, an old road, predates the village and takes an alternative route. The wealth of objects uncovered means analysis is ongoing until June 2021. That's all news to me. I didn't know this. It's probably why it's such a haunted village, because it was built on top of an old Roman village.
Well, you get that quite often, right? I mean, a lot of these old villages are, you see that all across Europe, where some of these, even Roman villages, Rome was classic for building villages over pagan sort of settlements. And you're bound to run into something like this where something has got a lot of activity, a lot of strange crap.
What? I'll tell you another thing that's great is when somebody goes around and does a seance around a place, and then they just wake them all up, and they're all they all appear. And they had this place called Worley House down in Devon. And they went and they got this this medium and a couple of other people, and they did a thing there, and they just opened it up, and next thing you knew, like they were having things appearing, shadow ghosts, voices in the room, like people talking, but nobody's in the room. You know, it just woke the whole place up, like, you know, just having the seance in there, like, just got them all there. The place is apparently dating back to about 1600s, like, apparently, like, you know.
See, you guys have all the fun over there. You guys have all this historic, like, I mean, we're talking about years and years and years. Here it's like we're lucky to find something, you know, that dates back to the early 1700s, if that.
Yeah, when people found the land, like,
yeah.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share something. I don't know if
Okay.
I'm trying to share something.
Corpsewood, that's it.
Yeah.
Guys, look at this. Look into this, man. This is pretty fucked up. Really good book. But the story itself, the actual account is, and we had Dan Ellis on talking about this. Really, really fucked up. But you can find tons of stuff online with it. I'm sure even on YouTube.
So the guy was.
Oh shit! sorry, John. There you go.
So the guy was gagged and bludgeoned to death.
Yes.
Wow.
It was brutal, man. It was like they really brutalized that one guy, man. It was horrible. Yeah. Like you definitely do not want to be put through that. That's for sure.
No, that's no way to go. Right?
My sister's got a photograph. I'm trying to get it from her. I'll ask her for it. She lived in Newington. She moved out of the family house, and she got another house in Newington. And it was on the high street overlooking Church Lane, where the church is.
Yeah.
And when she moved out, she took a photo of the place, of the outside of the building. And when it was developed, saw a shadowy figure in the window, was her bedroom, and like two red eyes, like two red.
Jeez.
And it's really it's like the devil standing there, you know.
That would be cool to see, Frank.
I'm gonna try and get it off my sister on your Discord.
I had a bit of an issue once I seen the shadow ghost in the building I was working at. I was at Omea one time, and my mother had the house for a little while when I moved back to Cornwall. So when I come back, we were both living in the house together for a short period of time. And then I was sat in the corner of the room, and I have a kitchen behind me that's part of the lounge. And out the corner of my eye, I'm just watching the TV out of one eye, and out the other, I've just seen this shadow in the kitchen sort of appear and then disappear, like. And I went like that straight away as I fucking seen it, like, you know. My old days gone, what the hell are you doing? Like, don't start doing things like that, you know. So this, as I say, this house dates back to 153 years old. Like, I think this house is like 106, nearly 155 year old. So yeah, bound to have been a few people died in this house over the years, like, you know.
And there was one episode where the whole family were, because when we were kids, the whole family used to get round with a video, like for Friday evening, and watch a video. The whole family sitting around together, and we was all sitting down and we just putting on this video. I think it was a ET or something at the time, like in the 80s. And I was sitting down.
Pirate copy by any chance?
Yeah. Sony Betamax as well. You couldn't get videos for Sony Betamax. Pirates. Anyway, we put it on, was watching it, and it just started, the intro started, and we heard clunk, clunk, shh. We had an old-fashioned toilet system with the chain.
Yeah.
And we heard it flush upstairs. And we was like all looking at each other, and
who's up there?
And it's like, yeah, who's that? Who's that? And it's like, because we used to leave our door open with people used to come in and out of our houses back in the old days.
Yeah.
Just willy-nilly. So we thought, oh, someone's coming. And so my dad goes out and looks up the stairs. And when we're all looking up there behind him, like, a bit wary and scary. And we saw the chain of the system swinging like that. So my dad goes up there and he opens the bathroom door wide. There's no one in there. He checks all the bedrooms, checks the wardrobes, checks everywhere. There's no one around. The chain just flushed on its own.
Wow.
Okay, the video is ready to go, guys. Hold tight. And this is the Woodlot where we're filming the documentary right now.
Right.
Here we go. Hold on. Yeah, I'm here at the famous Woodlot. As you can see by the footage. Oh, sorry. It's pretty soaked, but not in horrible condition where we can't get in here to shoot some additional footage pretty soon to wrap up the documentary, The Dark Woodlot. I'm standing right now at the ponding area. There you go. And this is where we were hearing some of the wailing that we captured during the documentary shooting last couple of years. Actually, we didn't really get some last year, but 2 years ago when we started the documentary, it was let me just turn around so you guys get, there you go, where we got the wailing sound and the strange little metal noises and the knocking on the trees that were unexplainable, and their sound waves didn't register, which was really odd. I mean, they were there. You could hear, we heard a lot of this stuff with the naked ear during our time here. Just, sorry, I'm getting tired. Just in the background there, in that section on the other side of the in cove, is where we found the bone that's still in question. Is it human or is it animal? Still waiting to hear back from the authorities, hopefully. If not, probably contact them soon to find out exactly what that bone is, human or if it's animal. So, yeah, well, what are we gonna find this year during our time here? Hopefully we're gonna get out here pretty soon, because well, it looks like the ticks will be out early this year, so probably April. So probably pretty soon we'll probably try to get some additional footage to add to the documentary, and some additional surprises. Yeah, so just figured I'd come out here and scout the location out to make sure everything's okay, and not much has changed in terms of the environment itself. I'm not going to go too far in right now. I just figured I'd do a quick check on it and enjoy the rest of the footage here, guys. right, I'm standing roughly where we were, as you can see just back there, about there, where Gord and I witnessed something very unusual. Unfortunately, we didn't capture it on camera, or did we? You're gonna have to find out when this is completed exactly what we saw. I think we kind of blurted it out there during a show or something else, but whatever. Back in that corner there, one evening we heard a wailing sound, like a cry, and we do have this audio available, and it will be available, you know, when you watch the final product. And then we saw something very unexplainable and very, very creepy nonetheless. So yeah, back in that corner, and that's where we're thinking a farmhouse once stood years ago, and is the focal point of this documentary. Again, the story that led me to want to expand a short excerpt that was found on, or blurb or whatever, was found on an old message board years ago. Can't find it anymore. It's probably down now. Maybe on the dark net, who knows? But about a guy who was driving home from work, and this was in the late 70s. And he shared his experience about driving the road just on the other side here, driving down it, and he had stopped because he had seen a woman walking aimlessly in a cornfield, because this used to be a cornfield. Well, it still is somewhat. I think it's soybean, and they kind of switch it out. But anyways, he had stopped because he had seen a woman that seemed like she needed help or something, and he got out of the car and he started walking up towards the cornfield and towards a woman, and as he got closer, she just completely disappeared. So I mean, that's kind of odd, obviously, and is there an explanation? Who knows? But upon further research, I found something else, something that will obviously, you guys will have to wait to find out. But this woodlot, very intriguing. It's since we've started the documentary and shooting in here, has provided some very interesting aspects that we didn't anticipate, to be honest. And again, once again, you have to remember, this is teeming with wildlife still. I mean, there's coyotes, there's wild turkeys in here, turkey vultures, sorry, that roam in here, and you gotta watch every once in a while. But for the most part, they're harmless. I mean, the coyotes usually stick to themselves out here, so. But they're there, they make themselves known, and they have on a couple occasions at night when we were shooting. We haven't really had any problems with any wild turkeys, but we've seen a lot of stuff, you know, possums, what else? An owl. There was owls one night up in a tree that were making some pretty cool noises that we thought might have been something else, but you know, upon doing your research and everything else, you find out that the noises were in fact made by a type of owl, which is cool. Yeah, so there's remnants of rocks and stuff cleared for the farming and whatnot. There's tires, because there used to be an old mechanic who had a shop on the other side of the woodlot, and there's tons of areas where you can see like mounds of tires still around, just rotting away. But as you can see here, here's some of the cleared land here, right there. And there's remnants of old houses. There used to be a couple houses on the other side that they've since tear down. In the last couple of years, in fact, I think the first year of COVID, they cleared a lot of the land, the trees, and that separated the lots, which to me was unnecessary. I really don't think they needed to do it unless they were going to sell the property. But as far as I know, there's no intentions, of selling it just yet. And I really don't know why. Maybe it's better for them to harvest. I don't know, because right now they're doing soybean. I don't know if they're going to do it again this year, if they're going to do corn. Who the hell knows? I know lots of farmers or whatever tend to, or the people who own this land, rotate the crop. So that's what I understand, is that the soybean sort of enriches the corn, the soil for corn, and likewise, I don't know. I'm not an expert on farming, but before you know it, you'll see a lot of either, like I said, soybean or corn being planted here. My guess is probably soybean again this year. So hopefully in the next couple weeks, we'll get out here and do some additional shooting. Take care, everyone. Yeah. Do you remember the night, Alex, when Alex saw the possum?
When Gord saw the possum?
When Gord saw the possum.
Yeah. He wanted to go and pet it.
He wanted to go pet it. It was pretty freaky. It was stuck in a tree, and when you shot a light at it, the eyes were like beaming red, and you're like, "Oh my god, what's that?"
He wanted to pet it. Meanwhile, the possum was ready to fucking attack us.
Hey, well done. How are you, guys? We need to coach Dan to come on. Dan, come on. He's punches. Come on. You've got your coffee. I know you got your coffee. Come on. So, anyways, that was just a little walkthrough, like I said, to give you a gist of the location, and that's only some of it. A portion of the extensive area that we've been covering for the documentary, and where we had the live Ouija board session. Unfortunately, it didn't work out too well, but that was Frank. You're asking, was that where the Bubble Boy was captured? No, that Bubble Boy was probably captured about a 5-hour drive from here, something like that.
North, I think it was.
Just north of us, but it looks all the same.
The tree line looks similar.
The tree line, yeah, exactly. But for those of you who might have caught the live Ouija board section that we did, I'm sure we'll probably do another crazy thing like that this year. And you know what? We might even do it when we start shooting again, because hopefully the weather will be nice.
Well, I don't know if you guys remember seeing the tire when Steve first went into the woodlot. That's where we had the Ouija board.
That's
try placing it on the tire.
Yeah. We had that there, and we figured, being close to water, it's water being a conductant. So, unfortunately, not too much came out of it. But we in that sort of section has been odd. The noises that we've heard and captured have just been off the chart, like just insane. Alex will tell you, one night we were hearing what sounded like somebody was like chopping down trees.
Yeah, I heard that. You could hear it in the on the recording. Chopping.
Yeah, you could hear like a knocking on the trees, and you're like, what the? And we could hear this audibly. It's like it didn't make any sense. And when it went to analyze the audio, the actual knocking on the trees did not register at all. It's really weird.
Yeah, usually it's the other way around.
Yeah, usually it's the other way around. So, I mean, what is it? Who knows? Just weird. Intriguing little place, though. And I'm sure we'll do another live on location there.
Oh yeah.
There's some footage on YouTube of ghosts caught on camera. And there's a place in England somewhere, and they got this footage of this thing opening the doors, and you see it clearly as well because it busts its way out and closes the door behind it. You know.
I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah, it's on one of the most top. I think it's in one of the top 10 ghosts caught on camera.
Wasn't that in a castle?
Yeah, in a castle. Yeah,
I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
I do remember seeing that. I think as well.
It does get you shivering as well when you start, even when I'm talking about it. Like, oof.
But even that, like I said, that Yama Q stuff. Some of the footage that he captures that freaks me out. And Alex, the moaning.
Yeah.
That is freaky shit, man.
So that's like one of the first videos that I watched when Della was mentioning it.
Yeah,
was the one with the moaning, and he was at the window looking out at the street, and all you hear is this. Sounds like an old man moaning or wailing or something like that. And then as soon as he goes out onto the street, it stops. Yeah.
But I mean, there was times when he would capture it inside the bathroom.
Yeah.
Did you hear those ones?
No, I didn't hear that one.
Oh fuck, the ones in the bathroom. That's just blood curdling. You know, and this guy would take. He was in the beginning so affected by the stuff, he couldn't sleep, so he started taking sleeping pills.
Mm-hmm.
And what he would do is he would leave a GoPro camera going in the area where he was getting all this activity, and capturing all this shit. Is just insane, man. You wake up in the morning and you're like, okay, what happened here? But at least when you review the video footage from the GoPro, you can understand what's happening, right? But I mean, if that was happening in your house,
I didn't get anything. I didn't get anything in mind, like, you know. Just
but I mean,
just in case it opens up something, like, you know.
But it makes you wonder though, because I mean, I don't know how many times I've heard this where somebody has this kind of activity happening, and you sit there and go, is it them just trying to grab attention, or is it there's ways of manipulating this stuff without a doubt, and I've seen it done many times, but this just seems very weird, man. I mean, I just don't understand if this is staged. It's staged really good.
Yeah. There's a couple of places. There's a good story, and a friend of mine used to live in this old shop, and I think I've told it before to people. But the woman who lived in the shop, she died in the flats in the back, and they caught her one morning walking down the corridor, and apparently she was living her last day over and over again, and if you were caught at the right time in the morning, you'd just catch her walking down the bottom of the corridor, like, you know. And there was all sorts of things happening in this house, like, you know, there was things moving, there was things disappearing, there was things turning up 3 days later in a total different place than where they were originally put, you know. And yeah, in the end, they got a medium in and everything, like, you know, and she went away, but she left one thing when she left, and she said, I just want to give the lad who's with you like a kiss, because he reminds me of my son, like, you know, she said.
Yeah.
And no word of a lie, he said he felt it down the side of his face, this cold sort of thing, like, as she kissed him on the cheek.
So a lot of residual sort of residual haunting, like, you know, an imprint sort of thing that was playing out.
Yeah, it was. She was living her last day over and over again
Hmm.
until she went to the light. She didn't. She never went to the light. She just no one ever sorted her out, like you know.
And I mean, that's one of the theories that a lot of people, when they pass away and they're
Yeah,
haunting a
this is
location,
this great debate. Some people say, "Do you go towards the light or don't you?" Like you know.
well, I mean, a lot of theory is that these people pass away and they haunt or whatever else. They're it's unfinished business, or
Mm,
they don't understand that they're dead, and they're continue on life as normal, but they don't understand they're dead, sort of thing.
mm.
There's all sorts of theories out there, and I mean, which one's right? Who knows? I mean, that's the thing. Until we understand what happens after death, we'll never know.
No.
Do you
You
think
know?
those people that repeat their like when they like you said they like repeating their day? Do you think that the surroundings to them? Do you think it's the residual surroundings that they had around, or do you think they see like
No,
the stuff
that
change
woman.
around them?
Yeah.
Do they
No,
see like new
that woman.
technology and
Yeah.
stuff? Are they
Well,
Where
well,
she
confused?
where,
Like,
where
what
she
the hell is
walked
this?
like that. Yeah, that corridor had been there ever since, and it was still never. It wasn't changed, that corridor. So when she
Right.
walked down the corridor, it was probably the same day that she was alive. There was nothing different to her. She didn't sort of look around the room and stop and go, "Oh, that's not right." Like she just did a thing. Like she just walked down the corridor, walked into the kitchen, came back out, walked back down the corridor, went into her bedroom, and disappeared. You know that's what she did. Yeah.
but sort of to answer what Dan was saying, like I think a lot of times, from my experience, it's just they, like I said, there's like a sort of a containment, if you will. They're in a loop,
Luke. Yeah.
and they're like continuing. Like, for instance, they have a daily routine in the kitchen in the morning.
Mm.
It plays out and plays out and plays out, and they don't understand that. They don't understand time.
No, there
It's
is
like
no.
time is
Yeah.
like non-essential now.
I don't think there is. I mean, I got hold of my mother within 2 weeks of her dying through a medium, and I asked her one question. I said, "Did Ray come and meet you?" Like you know, and she was as cryptic as she was when she was alive. She said, "Oh, they're all here." she wouldn't tell me specifically, like that Ray came and met her. You know.
It's funny. I remember reading an article not too long ago saying that the UK is experiencing a shortage of ghosts. Believe it or not,
Yeah.
Because
I
like I always thought like because remember there was like that ghost hunting phenomenon that happened around like the early 2000s, right?
yeah.
And everybody, and it was like it seemed like it came from the UK, and then it kind of started in the United States and Canada, and people were saying that like, oh, like there's more ghosts in the UK because it's older, or some shit. Like there's
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
possible, very possible. The
But
biggest thing
people
that's
also
been,
like say that
yeah,
the Native Americans here in the United States and Canada have been here for thousands of years.
Yeah.
yeah,
And that's what a lot of people like say. If there's a haunting and you don't understand, it's because it's a residual like Native American haunting.
Well,
I think
it's funny, Dan, when you say that, because I mean they've found evidence somewhere down there. I can't remember exactly where. Bog people of up to 10,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of makes you rewrite, the history that we know.
Do you know
Well,
what's really ruined
they
it?
find Clovis points here. Clovis points are like a long arrowhead, and those are from 10,000 years ago. They were hunting like mastodons and shit with those things.
They found a lot older than 10,000 years ago in America, like going back 40,000, 50,000.
Oh, absolutely. But you know, we're kind of
People.
giving you, you know, based on current history that we're taught and whatever else that they want to make you believe. But I mean, there's evidence of like, I mean, we're even talking about, you know, if you want to go into talking about, say, the Vikings and how far did they get down into North America? I mean, you look at, they're talking about the Mississippi.
Yeah.
They're talking about having their ships go all the way down the Mississippi. I can't remember exactly where, but there is an actual area where they found ruins.
Right.
You know, I mean, there's all sorts of stuff where you could sit there and go, wait a sec, are we going to have to rewrite history here?
Yeah, but the Vikings weren't that old, were they? Like in history?
No, but you know, just an example, Frank, of stuff that, you know, that we're force fed and to believe, but is it real? I mean, you look on the coast of California, and they're talking about these Chinese wheels that they found off the coast of California, that suggests that Chinese naval ships found America 200 years before. What is it? The Spanish. Yeah,
it's completely possible, and you know, I don't doubt it. But you think about this, like it's whether they're successful or not. It doesn't matter where they got here.
Well, yeah,
they could get here and then all of them die.
Yeah,
you know?
They found.
Who knows?
They found. They've actually found Egyptian artifacts, like near the Grand Canyon, and Egyptian artifacts in caves near the Grand Canyon. And
see, a lot of
Sumerian. They found Sumerian tablets. That goes back 4,000, 5,000 BC.
I think a lot of America's been like sort of dug over in it. So I should think a lot of places. There's probably a lot of history in a lot of places in America that's been built over, like, you know, no one ever really bothered about.
You look
all over the place. They come here and they found America. A bunch of different cultures found America, but they didn't necessarily survive, or maybe they you know, joined the culture that they found here, and they just kind of interbred into the cultures.
Well, don't forget that America had 2 miles of ice up to 10,000 BC. Before the.
But they didn't necessarily keep their own cultures when they got here. They didn't necessarily, you know. But then know, the Native Americans, they won't allow themselves to be genetically tested.
But at the same time, Frank, you got to look at the land bridge between Alaska and Russia as well. Regardless of that ice.
Yeah, but that doesn't add up now with the DNA evidence. That's like being basically debunked the land bridge crossing and going down from north to south. Right. That's debunked because of the DNA evidence of people in South America.
But let's just say
let me ask you guys, where did the Native Americans, North Americans come from? I mean, let's face it. I mean, when you look at it, their DNA traces are back to Asia.
Yeah, but they
before you get too philosophical, guys.
Okay,
I gotta head off.
All right, Alex.
Okay, guys, have a good night.
All right, take care, Alex. Take care. We're blowing his mind here. Look what happens.
Another thing is landmass, especially like when Frank's saying it was frozen. A lot of it would have probably melted and floated away.
Well, there was
if they came onto the land and it was frozen,
died. They found a couple of years ago that there was an asteroid. Well, several asteroids or comets or whatever, they don't know for sure, hit North America during the Ice Age, and that's what caused all the massive melting of the ice and made the seawaters rise by 400 feet.
Yeah,
like almost overnight.
but
Massive
at the
devastation.
Sounds like a
same
worldwide
time,
flood to me. Oh.
at the same time, you look at the genetic makeup of most North American, Canadian and American, and even into South American native peoples. They have Asian sort of ancestry, right? I mean, so how if it wasn't that land bridge, could it possibly, we're talking about coming in from, say, Easter Island and then making their way over?
Well,
Or
I
maybe
think
they just
coming from like the East Pacific
Like the
across.
Polynesian countries, and then dropping down into the small sort of, and then bang, coming in, say, through North America, or sorry, South America.
I think they sailed across from the Pacific in ancient times.
Yeah.
The Egyptians had like seaworthy sailboats. They found two boats at the base of the Great Pyramid, which they
Yeah.
dug up.
the Khufu
Yeah,
ship.
and they're seaworthy ships.
Dan,
So-
I love the redwood, by the way, in the background. I was in total fucking amazement when I finally was able to visit some of the
Go
forests
to
there on the.
Redwood National Park.
I went to Anderson National Park, which is along Russian River, and
Wow.
oh my god, the redwood there is incredible.
Yeah. It's,
Oh,
there's
man.
nothing else like it. There's nothing else like it being in an old redwood forest or
It's
massive sequoia trees.
Yeah, fucking amazing, man.
Yeah.
Frank, by the way, we're talking about Nosferatu.
Yeah.
There's a new Nosferatu flick coming.
Is that?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, and it looks fucking good, man.
Wow.
But yeah, I was in total fucking amazement when I was able to walk through that forest, man. It makes you really think. It really does.
Well, they even have some of the trees that have fallen over, right? And they're these massive trees that have fallen over, and they have like sliced through them and counted all the rings, and they have them labeled with little arrows, and they're like pointing like Roman, like the dawn of the Roman era and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
These things are fucking thousands of years.
Thousands.
Yeah, like the tree
Like the
fell
fucking massive.
before the tree fell 2,000 years
Yeah.
and it's
It's still there.
I have a picture. I have a picture somewhere. I don't know if I still have it on my whatever, but I have a picture of me standing by one, and it's got like a almost like it's hollowed out at the base, and you could fit a fucking Ram truck in there.
Yeah, they had the in the Redwood National Forest. They actually had the tunnel tree, they called it, and it actually was a tree that they paved a road through. And when you went into the park, you actually drove through a
that's
tree.
cool.
Yeah.
So have you actually seen these trees?
Yeah. I've
Fuck.
been there. Yeah.
They're amazing, man.
They had trees that were so big that they had limbs on them that were bigger than the trees you normally see in regular forests.
Yeah.
And the limbs growing off these trees had trees growing on them.
Yeah.
The limbs had their own trees, like they had like soil in the limbs of the trees,
Yeah.
and the trees had seeds that grew into massive trees themselves. There's trees growing out of trees above your head.
They're amazing.
There's an old tree in that churchyard of Newington. They reckon it's about 2,000 years old.
Yeah, we got one.
Is that oak tree?
It's an old
just
walnut.
up the road from us.
A walnut tree?
It's an old walnut. There's a walnut and an oak. And I reckon
Yeah, we got an oak. We got an oak. It's in a village just up the road from me.
The trunk of it is about, I don't know, it's probably about 12 foot wide, like the trunk of it. It's huge. And the walnut.
That's
massive.
And it's surprising that it's still there too, because like I think they were cutting them down to make churches and stuff.
Well, no, because another
boats
thing
and
was
ships
they had
for
they had problems
for the
with oak
Navy.
trees at one stage.
For the Royal Navy, they were cutting down all those big trees because they needed them for the Navy.
I don't know if you guys have noticed. I don't know so much over in the UK, but I've noticed it down there, Dan. But a lot of trees are dying off because of an invasive vine from Japan.
Yeah, we got it with oak trees over here.
That is literally what happens. Is these vines will crawl up the trunk, and they will literally form a canopy over the tree and kills the tree. It sucks it dry.
Yeah, it's what's called a photo site.
Yeah.
So it actually blocks the light.
You're seeing more and more of it now, and it's really to me it's been disturbing. It's something that's really bothered me over the years. And they're a tap root, so I mean you can literally, chop it at the root, but if it touches the ground, it'll root again. Scary.
Yeah, that's a bit like rhododendrons, isn't it?
Yes. Simon, you're right. Simon said it. Yeah, Japanese knotweed. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's
and I
from
think
Japan.
they brought it over here for some sort of like medicinal thing. It was like a medicine or something like that. So they planted it here, and it just went fucking crazy. Like
it's gone nuts.
We had somebody who decided to bring rhododendrons over here, like over to the UK, like, and next thing you know, like we got places invaded by it because rhododendrons just grow anywhere.
There's a rhododendron in my front garden, and it's grown
anywhere.
Well, for years here, obviously because of the English settlers here, the English ivy was a huge thing. Yeah. And it grows like crazy. But the thing is, it's not invasive like this weed.
It's pretty. I like English ivy.
English ivy's nice.
Yeah. No, it's not great when it's on your building though. Like
it's horrible.
It's growing up all the back of my house, and and it actually comes into the brickwork.
It will. It'll eat its way into the house, like
it eats its way in.
It'll get in and then it starts expanding and pushing shit apart.
Yeah. And every time it's a frosty night or winter, like it fucking ruins the house.
Be thankful it's not the Triffids.
Yeah.
Ivy is a pest here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Simon B.A.'s got it right. Yeah. Capability Brown. Yeah. Capability Brown. Yeah.
Capability Brown.
6 million trees were cut down in Scotland several years back to make way for green wind farms.
Yeah.
Oh,
green wind farms. Yeah.
We have them bad here too. Absolutely horrible here.
6 million trees cut down.
Yeah, but we've also got something that's eating all the oak trees as well. Like
green people.
Yeah. I hope they planted 12 million trees in their place.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't because they
didn't put nothing back. Like they just fucking left it.
They put windmills up.
Here they're going after the farmers and saying, "Hey, would you like to make some extra money? Sure. You don't mind if we put a few windmills here?"
Yeah. Oh, no problem. How much do I get for that then? Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking ridiculous.
And these wind farms don't produce enough electricity to.
No.
Yeah, they produce jack shit.
No. And half of them break down.
I have a friend
who's a
technician. He actually climbs those wind generators is what they're called. They're not windmills, but they're wind generators. Yeah. And he climbs them. He climbs up them and fixes them and stuff. And he's never said anything about like the efficiency of them or anything. But
no,
it's kind of like you see them in California, and California's like,
Isn't there a famous video of one of them catching fire with two blokes still on top of it?
Probably,
see him fucking explode.
Yeah, and the blokes died as well. Like they couldn't get them down, like so they died.
Really?
Yeah, caught fire. It caught fire. It was on fire on the top, like, and they were up on the top of it, like they couldn't get down, so they died on it. No one could get up there and rescue them either, like.
Oh, you know what? Dude. Okay, so I've got it, and I'm going to play it. Hold on, give me a sec here. I'm just gonna upload it.
I've seen them explode in high wind though, where the
I've
wind
seen
is
them
pushing them
explode
so
as
fast
well,
they just
yeah.
fly apart.
Yeah. Look out.
You ever seen one of the blades from one of those solar wind generators on the highway where they're taking it down the highway?
Yeah. On a
Fucking
double
huge.
massive
They're
truck.
so
like.
bigger. They're so much bigger
Yeah.
than you think they are.
Oh, huge. Massive great lorry, like loads of police around it, like
Yeah.
40 feet span.
Yeah, 40 feet span.
Yeah,
like,
just like wide. They're fucking long. How long they are, man? They must be like at least
Massive.
100 foot long.
fucking right, like.
That just happened. What? Just this year?
What, the fire one?
Yeah, about a year ago.
No, it's happened. I think it's a good 2 or 3 or 4 year back, like.
Okay, hold on. So to make sure I have the right one.
I don't know. It just
share a video on StreamYard without having to upload it. Just
Well,
play it.
that's what I'm doing. I'm uploading it. So.
No.
I remember seeing
Discord. I tried sharing that video I made earlier, but it's
I've
like
seen
8
it. I've seen it.
megabytes or whatever.
Oh, but you've got it up there, man. I've seen it. It's on there, man.
Yeah, but I had to upload it onto YouTube while the storm was actually happening.
Right.
That was a cool video. I watched it, by the way.
It was like 30 seconds long. I didn't bother putting an intro or anything to it.
How many? What size were they like? They look like fucking ball bearings.
Dude, yeah, they were pretty big. I mean, some of them I saw out there were almost an inch.
Inch?
Like, yeah, an inch. That's like
That's new windscreen territory, isn't it?
That's like 10 centimeters. They were like 8 centimeters. Yeah, they were like 8 centimeters.
Yeah, that's like hitting you in the head like a rock.
In Ireland, when I was a little kid, there was a freak electrical storm, and they had a massive hail, and they were literally the size of
golf balls.
Golf balls, like even bigger than golf balls.
Yeah.
Thank God they weren't that big. I was so worried that they were going to fucking start getting bigger and bigger, and I was just going to be like,
hundreds of millions of pounds worth of damage. It did. In Ireland.
Yeah.
That's why I said. That's why I said at the end of my video, I was like, my truck.
Yeah. It literally broke every window that they hit. Every window in Ireland was broken.
It's like rocks, like rocks, raining rocks.
Yeah, windscreens of cars all smashed, and
I've seen them in places in the United
Crews
States
were
where
on the
they
move
get
today
like
in Schuylkill County for an unusual fire call. A windmill fire broke out just after 8 this morning at Locust Ridge Wind Farm near Mahanoy City. The fire chief tells Eyewitness News the major concern was the possibility of a brush fire from spreading wind-blown embers, but that did not happen.
Bullshit.
Firefighters set up a safe zone and watched the nearly 400-foot-tall turbine burn itself out.
Yeah, that's the same sort of turbine, but the
And
guys
people
were stood on the back of it. They couldn't get off it. They burned
like people on that one?
No, that's a different one. The other one
that was a different one. There's a few.
There is another one with it's exactly the same sort of body on it, and they've stood on the top of it, and it's on fire, like, and then no one could get them off. They couldn't even. I mean, if they jumped to the death. No one could get up there to get them. They died on it, get burned on it.
And imagine jumping off that.
Okay, right, man. That's one way down,
That's
like one way ticket.
Insane, man.
Okay, right, like one way ticket. Blop.
That's just insane.
I know they do have like climbing harnesses with ropes and shit. Like
they couldn't get round there.
I would try to like hook the rope to something and just jump and dangle. Like.
Definitely. Fucking hell, man.
I'd probably be trying to dangle from something.
No way would I want to be like suffering that, like knowing that any minute I'm just going to burn up.
Hey, John, you're stuck up there. It's catching on fire. What do you do? What do you do?
What do you do? Yeah.
What do you do?
I'd rather take the chance of like using it like a fire pole and sliding down it than burning.
Like the size of that pole that thing is on is enormous. Like
huge. Yeah. Oh yeah, huge.
there's like a ladder inside of that thing.
There's a way of getting out to him. Yeah, obviously that plot was on fire. That's why they couldn't get in that anymore.
That box at the top is hollow. It has like a room in there. And it's like the size of a house.
Yeah, it is. It's huge. But with that area where they got in onto the top, that was on fire. So they couldn't get that option anymore. You know, you either go through there, catch on fire, either you jump off to your death, or you just wait there and die.
Fiberglass. Yeah, I think they're fiberglass. So once it starts,
they are. Yeah,
Pretty much
Once that
fiberglass.
burns,
Yeah.
Look out.
So that resin in that fiberglass just burns like like it's made of wax or something.
Definitely.
There is a ladder, Melissa, but to get to that ladder is probably impossible if there's a fire.
Yeah.
Like a fire breaking out, depending on where the fire breaks out, it's probably really hard to get to that ladder.
Yeah. I know that there's like a shit ton of systems. There's a lot of safety protocols those workers have to go through. That's like a freak accident for them to be on top of that and then it happened. Like that's
right, man. It
like,
was just fucking bad luck that day. Like, you know,
it's just your time.
It was still spinning. And then then all of a sudden it caught fire. Like, you know, oh my, what do we do now? Like, you know,
exactly. Yeah, you can't really. I mean, especially if you're like on the patch. You're on the patch of fiberglass that isn't burning yet, and everything is burning around you, and you're just like, where do I go?
It's like years ago. I always remember watching a safety video of this Mexican hotel on fire, and there's a gadget on the roof. Like, you know, he's on the roof. The building's ablaze, and there's only one way he can get down, and he thought he could lasso himself from one side onto the next balcony and then do it again and again, like, you know. But he got down the first one, then he went onto the second balcony and he lost his grip and he went. And you know, the next shot you got is him on the floor with his head split open, like, you know.
It's like it's like climbing a redwood and getting so far up, and then a bear comes to the bottom and decides, "Ha! I gotta strike a match." Set the tree on fire. Screw you! You want to climb a tree so I can't get you? I'll get you to come down.
It was one of the biggest trees in the redwood forest up in Northern California. One of the biggest ones, and I don't remember what it was called. It had a name. All the big ones have names. And this huge tree, and it had a little it had a pocket in there. You could sit in there and stuff. And this girl went in there and smoked her crack and lit it on fire, burned it down.
Oh God!
Wow.
Imagine that.
Desperate for that last
historic tree just because somebody was smoking crack.
Just because someone was smoking crack in there, yeah.
Well, I hope she went quick.
Was it General Sherman the one that burned down? I think it was General Sherman.
Yeah.
The Sherman tree is the largest tree in the world.
Yeah, General Sherman. Yeah.
Yeah.
General Sherman.
I don't know if that was the one that burned down or not.
Don't think you are.
It's a giant sequoia.
Yeah, it was a giant sequoia. Yeah.
Springs Canyon.
That's scary.
Where is it? It's in located in the giant forest of Sequoia National Park in Tulare County. It says. I'm just reading it now.
Just because a girl wanted to get high on crack.
Well, I hope she went quickly.
Oh, she didn't stick around. She fucking ran off.
She
got out of it.
Yeah, she ran. She fucking lit that shit on fire and ran off. Oh, someone's gonna find out.
I thought she died in it for a minute. I was thinking, well, there you go. Like,
it's 36 feet. The trunk is 36 feet across.
Oh,
fucking
it took forever to cut it down.
Tree.
And it's 275 feet tall.
Yeah.
There's no way you can cut that down safely. Like, no way.
It was called the Brotherhood Tree, and if you look up the Brotherhood Tree, I have a picture of me standing in front of the Brotherhood Tree, and it's like dedicated to all the nationalities on Earth. Basically, they dedicated this tree to. And it has like a walking path around it, like a raised walking path, because if you walk on the ground around it, it compresses the soil and it will choke the roots out, and it can kill the tree just by walking around it. Wow. So they have like a path. And I think it's 19 feet in diameter.
Right.
And the oldest tree in the world apparently is the Great Basin Bristlecone pine.
Yeah.
And it's over 5,000 years old.
Do you know?
And you know how they found out that tree was 5,000 years old?
No.
They cut it down.
No.
Do you know?
The oldest,
like,
the oldest tree in the world was cut down and then discovered to be the oldest tree in the world.
right?
No, this is still there. It's
Do you know? There's
Is that the one you're talking about? That's all twisted looking.
yeah. It looks like something out of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it
Do you
looks
know
like
the-
it looks like that thing from Fern Gully that you walked the Nexus into.
Do you remember those years ago that you got those mountain tracks, and they got people who built these things out on mountainsides, like, and they've been there for hundreds and hundreds of years, and they're like 15 off a good 1,500 foot up, like, and they're building these things out, and they're like literally enough just to stand on. But they built these things on the side of the mountain, like,
Yeah, I know what you're talking
How
about.
the fuck did you put those things up, man?
They're like in Bolivia or some shit, aren't they? Like they're like pathways.
Pathways around the mountains, like, yeah,
just on the side of the cliff.
Yeah, and there's no way we build anything up that high, like, because it's nearly 1,500 foot high, like, He's like, wow.
Yeah, I think some parts of it are like a mile high.
Yeah, frightening, isn't it?
I cannot find that picture. I was going to show you a picture of the one tree I was in front of. It was massive.
One tree to rule them all.
Oh, it was insane how big this sucker was.
Apparently, they dated the tree by doing a bore for it. They didn't cut it down.
All right.
They bored a small hole for it, and they.
Which one? I'm thinking of, because I read about one that a guy had cut it down, and then they discovered it was really, really fucking old. Like, and maybe it was like the oldest of a certain species of tree, not necessarily the oldest tree.
Yeah, this is apparently the oldest.
we got two trees next to the house, my house, and the map. The earliest map we've got is 1860, and they're drawn in on the map, these two trees, and they're right next to the house. So they're even fully sized there to be drawn fully sized. And one of them fell over about 4 years back, and it landed. Luckily, it landed on the bank of where the other tree's still standing. But yeah, they reckon they've been there for a good 200 to 300 years. Like.
It doesn't say where this tree is. It just says the Great Basin, wherever that is.
The Great Basin.
The Great Basin. Where's the Great Basin?
The
Great Basin.
Off the top of my head, just Google the Great Basin.
Bristlecone Pine, Great Basin. I don't know.
Nevada, Utah, and portions of California, Idaho, Oregon, Wyoming, and Baja California, and Mexico.
Wow.
So it's like a huge area.
Yeah, definitely,
It doesn't really give you the location.
A massive land. Yeah, I don't think they want you knowing exactly where that tree is.
Oh, it says the oldest tree. I've got it here. It's on the Guinness World Records site. It's in California's White Mountains. That's where it is. But they don't give you the exact location. Just says California's White Mountains, USA. Bristlecone Pine.
Yeah, I don't think they want you to know where it is, because there's these weirdos that'll go out there and cut it down.
Right, man.
Set it on fire.
There's tree poachers out there.
Yeah, I just want a nice fireplace.
Slowest growing tree in the world as well.
Slowest growing, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why they're so old.
Right.
They can live for so long because they're very hardy and slow growing.
Yeah, and it doesn't get that extreme in California as far as they get a lot of drought. That's what would kill that thing, but it's probably got roots that go for miles and miles and miles.
Mm.
I think like a eucalyptus tree. Eucalyptus trees have roots that can go for 100 miles.
Mm.
And they actually use them. They actually plant eucalyptus trees to placer mine for gold, to look for gold deposits.
For gold, yeah.
Because the roots of the eucalyptus tree will get down into the gold deposits, and they'll pick up just the trace bits of gold that they can absorb, and then they deposit the gold in their leaves, and then the miners can come and test the leaves and see what the concentrations of gold is in the area.
Really
interesting, huh?
You're fucking right, man. Let's get some leaves. Like, right?
Eucalyptus trees are dangerous too. They get really big and then they fall over.
I'm trying to find that picture. I'm determined to find that picture.
Here's that the Brotherhood tree. That's the base of the Brotherhood tree that I got my photo taken next to. There's a guy standing next to it.
Jesus,
and,
that's a big tree.
It's fucking. There's like chipmunks running around there too. Cool. Yeah, that one. That's not even
being attacked by any beavers. Like, luckily.
There ain't no beavers out there yet.
Yeah, no beavers out there.
And if there were, they're shooting them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the the largest tree you've actually seen yourself?
Probably this one, the Brotherhood tree.
Yeah.
Either that one or I don't remember. I think I saw General Sherman when I went there before they fucking burned it down, before it got burned down. And there was another one that got burned down from a lightning strike, actually hit it and burned it down. And it was really, really big.
Wow.
And I saw the husk of that one when I went there. It was like the burned out stump,
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, like, how the hell it lasted so long, and then just lightning decided to burn.
Lightning destroyed it in one night, like. Oh.
Well, that's the scary part. I mean, you sit there and go, "Wow, this thing is like literally hundreds upon hundreds of years old," and then all of a sudden, lightning, thousands of years old, and then lightning just bang,
levels it in
gone.
one night.
You're like, what?
Yeah.
All those years for what?
But they got the cones off of them, right? Because they're coniferous, right? So they got the cones from them, and they actually depend the cones on them. They won't sprout unless they're burned.
Yeah, that's
because
right.
the cone won't open. Yeah, the cone won't open unless it catches on fire. When it catches on fire, it pops the cone open, and all the seeds pop out.
I've got a photograph somewhere. I've got a photograph here of my old front garden.
Like part of the natural process of a healthy forest was burning down.
Trees somewhere.
So then, its offspring was planted then.
Well, they were burned at some point, right? Like thousands of years ago, there was a forest there that burned down, and all the cones popped open, and those are the trees that we see now.
Cool.
That's insane.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I gotta find that picture. I'm determined to find that picture.
I learned that when I went to Yellowstone National Park.
Yeah,
That's
Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Ticking time bomb, that is, isn't it? Ticking
Yeah.
So awesome. literally everything is clockwork. Like,
Lightning struck right outside our house to a big tree, because our old front garden went onto the wall of the manor, and the manor house had massive trees like a forest around it. Yeah. And lightning struck the tallest tree there, and it literally just overnight. It didn't split it or nothing. It just died, and all the leaves just died, and it was just a dead tree, and it's still there today.
Still standing, like, but
still standing, but it's just dead.
There's something when a tree gets struck by lightning, and it burns from the inside out. It's called a devil tree.
Out, yeah. And
it's called the devil tree. It's pretty cool looking.
Yeah,
it's called the devil's tree.
It's called a devil tree. Like
devil tree.
Yeah, it burns from the inside, and then it'll the fire will just burst out through the bark. Like, Like you don't even know it's burning until it until the fire
Till it
pops
goes,
out
boop.
somewhere.
Yeah.
I've got a photograph here of my old front garden, but it's pointing to the left of the dead tree. You can see a little bit of it in the top right corner of the dead tree, but you can't really see it. And I'm like a little boy. I'm like 5 years old in the garden. I really miss my old village. I had a lot of history there. I want to go back there. I want to get a camera and go down the catacombs of the church again and film it all. Document it.
Yeah, man. You want to do that?
You know, it'd be really cool. And I don't think Dan, I don't think they do have them. But if New Orleans had catacombs, that would be freaky.
Yeah, New Orleans is a weird fucking place, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's,
It's really
I don't
cool.
know if those catacombs were there from the Roman times, because it's 30 BC was where they found the Roman village underneath it. But that church was built in 1167. So I don't know whether it was built then or before then, and the church just sort of dug down into them. They were there already, maybe. It's really old. But some of it they tiled it, like in Victorian times. They tiled it like terracotta tiles.
Terracotta, yeah. Wow.
So it's really nice down there. It's proper like archway tunnels.
Yeah.
Like old style, church style.
Yeah.
All around the church.
Yeah, there's a place.
There's
a place in Chorley somewhere that's like a slush area, like a water collection area. It's been dated back to about late 1800s, like, you know, it's all terracotta tiles and real grand looking, like it's underground.
And the catacombs, they've got rooms off the church, and it's like they've got burials of saints, and they're like encased in stone, and but you can see their face. It's like, you know, like what they have in Canterbury. Have you ever been to Canterbury Cathedral or somewhere like that, where they've got the Archbishop of the what's his name, Thomas of Becket?
Yeah, I know what you're on about. Like,
preserved in stone. They literally took his body and just plastered him with stone.
They just plastered him.
Just plastered him forever, like, yeah.
There's like cement on him, and like you still see his features and his face and his body.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there, like in state.
Just sitting there, yeah.
And there's loads of them down there underneath Newton Church. There's probably about 12 of them.
Here's that
a lot of people there. 1,000 years old.
That's the tree that you drive through. It's called the tour through tree.
Tour through tree.
Yeah, the car's blue, so it's picking up my blue screen. But
wow.
Yeah. We have a picture of our '57 Chevy Bel Air going through that.
Nice car.
57 Chevy.
57.
That's classic. Hardtop, even.
Hardtop. Wow.
We just finished, resurrecting 1968 Super Bee.
Wow.
And for the front bumper alone, the front bumper to get an original was $20,000.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's insane.
Jesus, man, that's like
that was American, man. $20,000 American. We had to go down to Pittsburgh to get it.
Wow.
Holy shit! I would have just.
It wasn't even brand new. It was off something else, like, yeah.
Oh, it's an actual Super Bee front bumper from a 1967 from an actual 1967 68 Super Bee. So I mean, this guy, yeah, and these things are rare to find this shit. So
you can get a replica made for like cheaper than that. For probably
yeah.
No, but
at the end of the day, you've got to have slightly original parts, man. That's the whole point of it.
Well, right now it's sitting at 120,000 US. What it's worth?
What it's worth.
What it's worth? Yeah.
So it
About the
probably
same
costs what?
as a new
About
truck.
80 to 70 odd grand to fucking refurbish. Yeah.
Pretty much all original except for the engine, but the engine is Mopar, and it was extremely hard to find an original engine, and
Has it got a Hemi in it?
it's got a Hemi.
Hemi, yeah. Hemi.
It's got one of the first.
Is it a stick shift? Right.
It's stick shift. Yes.
Ooh, lovely.
Yes.
That's just pure posi rear wheel drive, man.
That is no slip differential on that one.
Well, no slip was Chevy.
No.
That was
Or
Chevy.
limited slip is what they call it. Limited slip.
Limited.
The Dodge was called the Posi.
The Posi.
Posi, yeah. The Posi drive.
The Posi drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And leaf springs like an old pram.
Yeah. Like my truck is all leaf springs.
Big springs.
Yeah. That was like that's the 1800s technology, leaf springs.
Yeah, they had those on fucking horse and carriage buggies.
Steam things like as well. Like, yeah.
A Silver Cross pram was leaf springs.
Yeah. They didn't have shock absorbers back then, though, so they just bounced
shock
all over the
absorbers.
place.
Bone shakers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bone shakers. Oh, there's a word you haven't heard.
The rumble seat. Remember the old rumble seats?
The good old suicide doors.
Suicide doors. Yeah,
doors.
Lead sleds and shit. Like
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Big old
Get away with that.
big old
Suicide
fucking
doors, man.
Suicide doors are the ones that come up.
No, they open forward.
They open like that.
Forward,
Yeah.
Forward.
Yeah.
Forward.
Yeah, like,
Forwards.
open that way.
Yeah, the opposite of normal doors.
They got no bar in the middle, so it's just literally the doors open up like they open up like that, and that's it. The whole
And the
car.
reason they call them suicide doors is because if you opened them while you're going down the road, the wind catches them and rips them open.
Yeah.
rips them open, yeah.
So like if you're
Rip you out.
holding on to it and you open the door, it just fucking tears you up.
Tears you out the door, yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Like,
really
it's
good when
kinda
it
hot
comes.
in here.
Not really good when it comes to crushing the car either, like because there's nothing in the middle, is it? It's just all solid on the bottom,
Yeah.
innit?
Those are like the gangsters liked to use those back in the day because they could shoot their Tommy gun out the they could open
Yeah.
the door up and shoot the Tommy gun out.
Yeah.
The gangsters.
Top Gear did that. They done a test on what car would be best for a gangster with a Tommy gun to fire out.
Yeah, the suicide doors. That's like. I mean, they pop open like that, and they can shoot out the out the door and shit without it.
There was
You'll
on a
be-
firing range, and they was slowing down, and then there was opening the door, and one of them had the sports car that the doors come up like that. And that
Yeah, the ones that tilt. They're like is it Lamborghini, Lambo type, isn't it? Where the door goes up. Yeah.
it went like a scissor up like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the AMC, the DeLoreans had the what they called seagull window, the seagull doors. where they
Seagull.
That's right. It used to come up like on an electric motor, and if your battery
Yeah.
went flat,
They
you
like-
didn't get the door
came
open.
up like that.
You couldn't open the door.
And you park in the car park in the multi-store car park, and you can't get out of it because you
You
can't
can't
open the
park
door.
next to anybody.
No, really. So you come back.
Well,
You
yeah, but
find
the
a
biggest-
space. You find a space where you can get out, and when you get back to your car, someone's parked next to it, and you can't get
Yeah.
into it.
the biggest issue with the DeLorean was it had a terrible problem with the battery going flat. So the door ran on a power. It was a power assisted door.
Oh, was
If
it?
the
I
battery
didn't
went,
even-
if your battery went flat like that was it. You were fucked because you couldn't
thought
lift
they
the
just
fucking
had,
thing
like,
up.
a
It was too
hydraulic
heavy.
kind of
It was
thing.
too heavy to lift up.
That was a hopeless car. It's probably the worst car.
Oh, made it
Dude,
made
it
in
was
Northern
stainless
Ireland.
steel
Like,
and it looked so cool though.
oh, they're stainless steel look. But the red ones look pretty good. Have you ever seen the red DeLorean? Like,
I saw one
It's
that
just-
had a
yeah.
chameleon paint job in my hometown. There was a guy that had a chameleon paint job on one.
Mm.
It was like purple and green. It would change colors.
I've seen a red one, a red DeLorean. And I think somebody had a black one as well, a black DeLorean.
I don't know why you would paint. Why would you
Belfast, weren't they?
paint
I
one?
don't know why you paint them like, but at the end of the
It's
day,
stainless, you know.
it's stainless steel. Yeah,
Belfast and Ireland doesn't have a good record of building stuff. They built the Titanic.
that was right. That's right. They employed a load of people from Belfast. Yeah.
They built the DeLorean, they built the Titanic and the Olympic.
Yeah.
Lusitania.
Yeah.
Perhaps everything that broke
Britannic,
down sank.
everything they built, like.
Well, I heard it was
no,
like
apart from the Olympic, because the Olympic sailed on like until it got demolished.
I heard it was like
No, the Olympics,
Titanic
the
would have-
Olympic
would have
got
sank
scrapped
within-
in 1935. The Olympic got scrapped.
Didn't it?
Okay.
I thought it sank as well.
No,
Or it hit something and it got taken.
it hit HMS Hawke,
Yeah, that's
which
it.
apparently bent the entire frame. And this is where the conspiracy theory comes in, whether the Olympics on the bottom of the Atlantic or the Titanic. We don't know. But
Well, it's the
Bob Ballard
Titanic.
said
It's the
Ballard said it was a Titanic. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could see all the features of the Titanic on that thing. It's obviously the Titanic.
They're fairly similar. Well, fairly.
But yeah,
They don't-
the Olympics sailed on to 1935 and got scrapped. There's the boardroom actually for the Olympic is in some place. I think it's in Lloyd's. I think or Lloyd's of London, like in the new building.
Yeah. Well, I heard the Titanic wouldn't have sank if it would have had the rivets had too much carbon in them. Which
That's
made
right.
them turn-
That's right. That's
it made
another
them turn
thing. Mate.
brittle
Yes.
in the cold water.
Yeah.
Because they were going
That's
through that
right.
icy cold water and made them brittle. And when they hit that,
Yeah.
when it
No,
hit that
not just that.
iceberg, they were
Not
like
just
glass
that though.
that just shattered.
No, because they were signed off as second rate. They had three types. They could have had cheap as hell, like, or they could have had mediums, or they could have had fucking super strong. And the guy went, "Oh, we'll save money on it. We'll get the mediums."
Right, because
That's
there's
what
like
they fucking-
30
yeah.
million rivets on it.
Yeah,
so they were
yeah,
like, "Ah, that's a
yeah.
waste of
So
money."
exactly, that's what went wrong with it. But they had the shit ones in there, like
Yeah. Yeah.
They've had proper rivets on it.
So,
And probably been in
so,
one
like,
piece.
come back to that guy and just it's your fault, you son of a bitch.
Did you know
I heard
that
like
there's-
Starlight still owns the rights to the Titanic.
Have you heard about that woman? She's known as the most unlucky woman and the luckiest woman in the world because
Yeah, she was on both.
she was on the Olympic when it hit the thing. She was on the Titanic when it sank.
And she was on the Britannic when it got bombed.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
she survived all of them.
Jesus.
So she's both the most unlucky for being on all of them, but the luckiest for surviving all of them.
I think Lightoller as well was on the Titanic and the Britannic. I don't know if that's true as well.
Speaking of redwood,
Okay.
What was it, the Titanic and the Lusitania?
Lusitania.
1,500 years old. 310.
Lusitania.
Look at this heart.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that freaking thing, man.
that's fucking massive, man.
Mass of wood. You get quite a few fireplaces out of that, couldn't you?
Standing up there, like that thing is fighting gravity for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much the size of the tree that's in the church in Newington. It's like 12, 13 feet diameter.
Which one? How big was that one? I didn't see this. I didn't look at the sign.
13 feet.
Here.
Okay.
13 feet.
13.8.
30 what? 310 feet.
310 feet tall.
310 feet.
Yeah.
Look at this size.
Yeah, that one. I think it's a walnut, or there's a walnut and an oak, but they don't grow so tall. Walnuts. They just grow
Yeah, because they're deciduous. They're not coniferous.
Fucking
What did we just
massive.
say?
Massive.
There's pictures of people like climbing those things.
But it looks like the walnut looks like it's made of like 6 or 7 trunks. You know, that it's sort of twisted at the bottom.
Yeah,
It's a really creepy looking tree.
Yeah.
interesting. I gotta see what that one's called too. I gotta know where was it in?
Newington Church graveyard.
Oldest tree.
If it's still there.
Can't imagine it would have gone
You
anywhere.
would think that would be like a historical, like nationally protected thing.
Well, the the church itself is a Grade 1 listed. It's not allowed to be altered in any way. Still got the original stained glass in it from 1167.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
See, I would think that the tree is worth more than the church, though.
Nah.
No.
You know what I'm
That's the
saying?
church.
It's a Flintstone built church.
Yeah.
Ancient,
Okay.
1167.
Yeah. Yeah. They
But
last for you.
even the original, everything's original inside. Everything.
Sometimes wish that people had built other places like churches. The
The
amount of time.
only thing that's faded is the
State Redwood Park, and this thing, look at the size of this thing, man. It's humongous.
The video doesn't do them justice.
Video does not
No,
do
you need to have
justice
somebody
to the
standing
size of
next
these
to it.
things.
Yeah. They're fucking massive.
Yeah.
pretty tall.
And then you put your arms out and you go, that's 6 foot, and then it's like 4 times fucking wider than your hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just imagine how big that biggest one in the world is. 36 feet wide.
What was it? 36 feet?
36
feet,
the
man.
Great Sherman or whatever it is. So, yeah,
Imagine that is just fighting the spin of the earth every day, like, isn't it?
Crazy big.
Right, man. Roots on that must be fucking huge.
I can't find this Newington church walnut tree though.
I don't know if it's a walnut or an oak. I can't remember. I know one of them was went over a bit, and it was like at an angle. I don't know if they had to pull it down for safety.
They probably did.
During the October '87 hurricane.
Oh yeah, they probably put it down then.
They may have had to pull it down.
We had a load of them in down where a mate of mine actually had a tree come into his house. But they'd been stood up there, and they pulled down all the rest of the trees around it.
That Melissa.
Couldn't risk it.
Yeah.
Good night, Melissa.
Good night, Melissa.
Um,
I've been up since 7
I wish
a.m.
there was photos of it though.
I'm pretty tired. I've been up nearly
I went
20
to bed.
hours.
I went to bed at 10 a.m.
Well, I had to get up at 7 a.m. to go on that course, and I got there and I started effing and blinding and saying, I can't be doing this. I can't be doing this. This is making me suicidal doing this. And well, what's wrong? I said, well, it's my mental health, innit? It's like I've got depression and stuff, and I can't be doing this.
Jesus.
And it's like, oh, well, you should have said. I said, I did say it. It's on my bloody medical records, and I've been made to go here by the dole. And I said, I can't be doing this. They said, well, you better go home then. So I left.
Wow.
I was there for about 3/4 of an hour.
Yeah.
And I come home, and then they phoned me about 2:00 in the afternoon. I've got to go back for another interview on Friday.
Really?
And they're going to sort out something to do with just what I want to do, teaching guitar, and that's it. I said, that's all I'm going to do. That's all I want to do. If you make me do anything else, I said I'd top myself. Because they're trying to force me into doing bloody...
Watch out, man. They'll put you in a fucking clinic in a minute if you keep saying that, man.
Someone... Well, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do
section you off. You'll section you off if you keep saying that.
Section you off.
I swear to God, mate, if you keep saying I'm going to top myself, like...
This morning, they tried to make me apply for a job as a road digger.
A grave digger's job? What?
A grave digger?
You get a fucking machine to do that these days.
No, a road digger, like...
Oh, road digger. If we said grave digger for a minute, fucking hell, mate.
Roadworks digger. I ain't doing that shitty job.
So tell them, like, if they ever say that to you again, are you going to give me a course that does that to drive a digger? And they go, oh, sorry, we can't, we haven't got that kind of stuff. You know, I'll go, well, I'm not going to go for the job then. I've got no chance of getting there, have I?
And then to do a CV, I said, well, to do a CV, what, to give to myself because I'm going to be self-employed? Because I'm registered self-employed. So what, do I give the CV to myself when I've done the CV? Oh yeah.
But what they want you to do is apply for jobs. No matter what it is.
From last year, or the year before, I registered self-employed through another course on the dole to make me self-employed, registered with HMRC and everything, do it, get me your certificates for teaching. I've done it all, but then the pandemic hit, and then I wasn't allowed one-to-one.
Yeah,
So,
the good old pandemic.
so I'm going to carry on doing that, and they can go and get knotted.
Listen, at the end of the day, they're giving you money. That's what they look at.
Mm.
They're giving you money. They want you to do something to stop them from giving you money.
Yeah, well,
And that's what it is. That's what it's all about.
Well, as soon as I can get some work from teaching, then I wouldn't be needing that money, will I?
No.
Well, guys, I think we're going to end this.
Have you given up the will, Steve? Have you? Us three are like wide awake here, like maybe, you know.
It's quite long for your stream, and it's 2 hours, 2 hours 40 nearly.
Yeah.
The oldest
we'll
tree, the oldest tree in England is 2,272 years old.
Jesus, Murphy.
And it's an Acker Week yew tree.
Yew tree. Yeah.
A Yule tree. Holy shit.
Yeah, they are really. They can get really old. 2.5
And the second oldest is only half that age, and it's an oak.
Yeah.
We got some crazy old trees here, but nothing, like I said, when I was down there and went into Anderson, I was like, holy shit, man. These are incredible. Incredible, man. To fucking imagine these trees and the age and
they're living things, right? That's what's amazing to me, is that they're living things.
Yeah.
They
could pick a tree
and the scary thing is that a fucking forest fire can just kill it within seconds.
Lightning.
That's right.
Yeah, usually the oldest tree is
or
the
somebody
tallest
flicking a cigarette
tree.
out of a car, like
The tallest tree is the one that's going to get hit by the lightning, right?
You know, that some fucking asshole doesn't give a shit and flicks his cigarette and goes, phew.
Or smokes a crack pipe. And
Yeah. Who gives a fucking shit how old you are? Fuck you. Scary, but true.
Yeah.
Very.
Yep. It's how
Scary, but true.
It's how she goes, boys. It's just how she goes.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot, eh?
Thanks.
Yeah. Nice having us
take
on,
care,
like.
and I look forward to Frank whenever you're live again, and I'm sure we'll do this again soon. Take care, guys.
Could be any minute, like hang around.
No, I'm taking a little break from because I've been streaming. Well, I streamed Friday, then I was on a stream on Saturday.
Hey, I gotta say before you go off a minute, like what you said last night to Joe was fucking hilarious, man. I nearly spat out my fucking drink at one stage.
What did I say?
You know when they were playing the guitar and he's singing, and then he said, I'm gonna give up now, and then he shut up and he goes, oh, it's. And he said to him, he goes, it's funny, just as I stopped playing, you shut up.
It's funny when Joe came on. When Joe came on, he's just like, I'm just going to shut up and I'm not going to say anything. And then he was still yapping. Talk.
Well, you know, I started watching it, and Frank, you know, in the beginning, Frank was playing the guitar, and Joe was going. No, he was just nodding his head to Frank playing, right? He's like getting right into it.
And then he started singing.
You know,
he started singing, and Frank goes, "Shut the fuck up!
Shut the fuck up!" and then he stopped playing. He goes, "Oh, I'm just gonna fucking give up. I've had enough." Like, and then Joe shut up. Then like, and we go, "Oh, now stop playing. You shut up."
It went all silent for like a minute, and then I picked up my guitar again. And he started talking again.
For somebody who hadn't drank anything that day,
he was plastered.
He was plastered.
All right, guys, take care.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
See you. Take care, guys.
See you, Frank.
See you later.
Night.
See you guys.
See you later.
Cheers.